Hello students. So in the previous class we were talking about in the natural resource, and that is about the water, a wonder liquid. Okay, why it is a wonder liquid? Because there are a lot of a liquid which is present around us, but it is a water which we use for the various purpose and which is very essential for our survival. Okay, in the water student we discuss about the composition. Okay, composition as well as the percentage of the water on the earth. So we discuss the first, that is the water present on the earth. About 75% of the earth's surface is covered with the water, and out of that 75% student, 97.5% of the water is sorry, it is present in that of the marine water or that of the salty water. It means the water which is consisting of a salt in it. Now the next one, if you see that what about that of the 2.75, so you will understand that out of that student, some of the water is used up. About 2.75% of water is used up by that of the glaciers. So they are present in the on the earth as a fresh water, but they are present in the form of the glaciers. And the rest of a small fraction of the water is present as a groundwater, as a lake, or in that of the river water. So this much amount of water is available for us. So we can say that a very small amount of a small fraction of water is available to us for our survival. And that is why it is essential, it is compulsory to conserve the water. Now in that only student we discuss about that of the groundwater, that how the groundwater occurs, student, how the groundwater it forms. So you know that the rainwater, it seeps, it percolates deep inside the ground, and there is a formation of that of the groundwater. Okay, and the upper level of that of the groundwater is known as a water table, and the vertical distance from the ground to that of the water level is water table is known as a water level. Okay, so this is water table and that of the water level. Now student, if we talk about the groundwater, so what is the importance of the groundwater? Okay, importance of the groundwater. What is the importance of the groundwater, students? So you see, the first importance is it is the fresh water, so as it is the fresh water, so it is used for drinking, washing, cleaning, etc. So for our daily to daily life activities in students, in which we use that of the washing process, or that of a cleaning, or that of a drinking. So in all this process, what does we need? We need water, and since groundwater is a fresh water, you see this the spring fall, or that of the well. So well is water, it is a groundwater that we use for the various activities. Now not only this students, but it provides moisture to that of the soil. So we can write it, it helps in giving moisture. Okay, so it helps in giving moisture to the soil. Now is it good, student? Yes, it is very important for the growth of the plant. the growth of plant. For the of crops. Okay, so we can see that it helps in giving moisture to the soil as it is very important for the growth of the crops. So this is what, student, this is the importance of that of the groundwater, in which this groundwater, since it is a fresh water, so for our daily life activities we use it for various purposes. Okay, and the second one is that as it seeps in the ground, students, so it helps in maintaining the moisture of the soil. So we can say that it gives a moisture to that of the soil. And as well as it is very important, since it is giving the moisture, so we can say that it is very important for the growth of the crops. Okay, so it is important for the growth of the crops. Now we will discuss the another thing, student, and that is the rainfall zone in India. So we discuss about the rainfall, students, and you know that the distribution of the rainfall, distribution of the water itself, it totally depend upon the rainfall, student, that what kind of a rainfall occur, what kind of a zone it is. Zone, let me tell you that here when we talk about the zone, it means we are talking that the particular area, the particular zone, how much rainfall is received by that particular zone in India. So, rainfall zones in India. Okay, so they are divided into 4 different type of a zone. So, the first zone is wet zone. What is the wet zone, student? This is the zone in which this place or this zone receives the heaviest, or we can say the heavy amount of a rainfall. So we can write it that this zone receives the maximum rainfall. Maximum, it means heavier than that, student. So it receives the maximum rainfall. About 200 centimeter, or just more than that of the about, or we can say rainfall more than 200 centimeter, or we can write above than 200, above to 200 centimeter. Okay, so this is the zone which receives the maximum rainfall. If we talk about the second one, student, so the second zone is the intermediate zone. Intermediate zone is what, student? This is the zone which receives the heavy rainfall. Okay, so we can say that this zone which receives the heavy rainfall. Okay, so this zone receives the heavy rainfall. It is about between 100 to 200 centimeter. So you can see here, student, this zone, it receives the heavy rainfall and it ranges between that of 100 to 200 centimeter. Then the next one is semi-arid zone. Okay, so we can write it. Semi-arid zones. Semi-arid zone is the zone which receives the moderate rainfall. It is not heavy, not less, but it receives the moderate rainfall. So we can write it. This particular zone receives moderate rainfall. Okay, And what is the range, student? It is between 50 to 100 centimeter. So this zone, it receives the moderate rainfall, and that is range between this is that of the 50 to 100 centimeter. Then the last one, student, and the last one is the arid zone. Okay, so last one, let me write it here, the last one. Okay, so the last one, fourth one is the arid zone. Arid zone, student, this zone receives the minimum rainfall. So we can write it, this zone receives the minimum that is below 50, or we can say between 20 to 50 centimeter. Between 20 to 50 centimeter. Okay, students. So you see, arid zone is the zone which receives the minimum rainfall, and it varies between that of a 20 to 50 centimeter. Okay, so these are the different zones, rainfall zones in India. Some place you see that zone, we call it a wet zone, where the rainfall is maximum and it is about more than or above to that of a 200 centimeter. If we talk about the other zone, students, so there are zone which receives the heavy rainfall, not maximum but heavy rainfall, and it ranges between that of 100 to 200 centimeter. Then the next one is the semi-arid zone. Semi-arid zone is the zone which receives the moderate rainfall. Moderate rainfall, it is not higher or not minimum, not maximum, not minimum. Okay, so it receives the moderate rainfall, and that ranges between the 50 to 100 centimeter. And finally, arid zone. So in case of an arid zone, student, this zone, it receives the minimum rainfall, and that ranges between the 20 to 50 centimeter. Okay, so these are the different zones in different rainfall zones in that of India. Now you look here, student, we discussed about the water, we discussed about the groundwater, and we discussed that what is the percentage of that of the water. Now you know that, student, even we discussed about that of the importance of the groundwater, that it is very important for us. Since it is a fresh water, we use it for various purposes. We use it for to drinking, to the carrying the different life activities. Now what will happen if suppose we degrade the quality? How can we degrade the quality, student? By mixing something into that of the water. Okay, so if you mix something in the water, the quality get degraded, and we will say that water get polluted. Okay, so now we will talk about water pollution. Water pollution. So again, pollution, we can say that an undesirable change that occur in air, that is the air pollution. So likewise, we can say that undesirable change that occur in the water, that is known as the water pollution. So we can write it that any of the physical and the chemical changes that occur in the water due to the addition of that of the organic or inorganic matter in water will going to degrade the quality of the water, and thus we call it as a water pollution. Okay, so we can write it that any physical or chemical change which occurs due to the addition of organic and inorganic matter. Organic and inorganic matter cause degraded the quality of the water. Okay, so it degraded the quality of the water. This is what, student, this is the definition of the water pollution, in which we say that any physical or that of the chemical change which occur due to the addition of the organic matter or that of the inorganic matter is the water pollution. Now you see here, student, when we started this topic, we discussed that what is the percentage of the water on the earth. We said that the amount of the fresh water in the earth is very less. Okay, so it is a small fraction of the water is available for us to carry our day-to-day life activities. So, in such case, if the fresh water is contaminated, is addition of impurities occur in that of the fresh water, then this will cause a major problem for us. It will be very problematic for us. So, we can say that since the amount of fresh water is very less, so since the amount of fresh water is very less, so any disturbance or contamination causes a big problem for the living organisms. So you see here, student, all the living organisms, they are dependent on the water, and that water is the fresh water, because every animal, human being, they all drink the fresh water. Okay, and the amount of the fresh water is very less. And in that particular fresh water, if we add the addition of that of the organic or the inorganic impurities occur in it, which degrade its quality, which hamper the quality of the water, so ultimately it is not good for us. Okay, so it will be a very problematic for us. Now we will see that what are the major pollutants. First of all, we will understand that what is a pollutant. So you see here, student, the organic and the inorganic, or the undesirable things, the undesirable organic and inorganic matter which we add in the water, that which degrades the quality of the water, is known as a water pollutants. So we can write that of the water pollutant. Water pollutant, students. Water pollutants, these are the materials which we add in that of the water, and they degrade the quality of the water, students, and that is known as a water pollutant. Okay, the materials which we add in the water, that is known as a water pollutant. So we can write it that water pollutant water pollution was what, student? The undesirable change occurred due to the addition of the inorganic and organic matter in the water, that is water pollution. And the material which get added in the water and degrade the quality is known as the water pollutant. So we can write it the materials which are added in organic and organic in water and degrade the quality of water. Okay, so the material which are added in water and which degrades the quality of the water, that material is known as a water pollutants. It is water pollutant. Water pollutants. Okay, students? Now, what are the different kind of a water pollutant or addition of which causes a water pollution, students? So, you see household waste. Okay, so household waste, in which what kind of a waste student, like that of a detergent. So the things which get mixed to that of the water. So you see detergent is what? It is a kind of a chemical. So we can write it household detergent. Okay, second one is the sewage that comes from the different houses, students, the dirty water, the waste water that comes from that of the houses and mixes into the river. Then what will happen? Ultimately, it will degrade the quality of that of the water. Not only this, student, you have seen a lot of industry, they used to set up their factory, they used to set up their industry near to that of the water body, maybe a lake, it may be a pond or the river, especially at the back of the river. Why is this, so the students, so that they can take a sufficient amount of water from the river. Now what happened in the factory, student, after using it, the waste material, the industrial waste, where they used to throw this, students? Industrial waste. So if it is a liquid, what they used to do, they used to attach that pipe which is consisting of the waste material into that of the river. So ultimately they make it to flow with that of the river or enter into the river water. So what will happen? These chemicals get mixed with the water. Okay, so we can write it industrial waste. Not only this, student, if you see agriculture waste also. Agriculture waste. So agriculture waste, students, while doing the agriculture of that of the crops and all, so you have seen a lot of waste material which forms. You see the fertilizer, students. So what happened in the fertilizers? When we throw the fertilizers on that of the crops, this fertilizer mixes with the soil. Now when the rainfall occurs, students, so these fertilizers will mix with that of the rainfall, and from the rainfall it starts moving to that of the river. So you see here, student, the chemicals which is present in that of the fertilizers along with the rainwater, they joins the river water. And finally, they will degrade the quality of that of the river water. Okay, so we can say the agricultural waste also causes the water pollution or also is a water pollutant. Not only the student, nuclear waste. Again here, in a nuclear power plant, the waste that comes out is highly toxic. Okay, so these materials, when the nuclear power plant is also set up near to that of the river and all, river or that of the water bodies. So you see here, students, ultimately these waste material is thrown outside. Either they mixes into the soil, and from the soil, when the rainfall occurs, it mixes with that of the rainfall and finally comes to the river, or it is directly discharged to that of the river water. So in both of the cases, student, you see that the nuclear waste, it means the chemicals, the radioactive elements that we use in that of a nuclear power plant, it finally mixes to that of the water. So by this, student, we say that it is a highly pollutant, is a highly toxic, and it will cause a lot of problem to that of the water or the living organism which is living inside to that of the water. So these are what, student? These are the major water pollutant which harms the quality, which makes the water dirty. Okay, makes the water unfit. What are that? Household detergents. Detergent, students, they are non-biodegradable. So when they mixes with the water, even the chemicals which is present in it will harm the aquatic living organism also. Okay, so this is not good. Detergent, it is not soluble in that of the water properly. Sewage. Sewage is what, student? Even the detergent, the microorganism which is present in it in the water is not able to degrade it. Sewage, student, all the dirty water which is coming from the different houses, finally it mixes into the river water or into that of the water bodies. So ultimately it will cause a major pollution. Then the industrial waste, students, a lot of industries they set up in front or in bank of the river. Okay, so ultimately you will see that these industrial waste get discharged in the river, and it will makes the water dirty. Agriculture waste also are that of the nuclear waste. These are the waste which finally mixes with that of the water body, and it will create the water pollution. Now we will move to the next one, student, that how this water pollution occur. Okay, so these are the pollutants which causes the water pollution, but how the water pollution occur? Water pollution occur. Occurrence. Occurrence, it means how the water pollution occurs. So the first thing is addition of the undesirable materials in it. So the first thing, student, that is the addition of the undesirable particles or materials. Okay? Addition of the undesirable materials. Addition of the undesirable materials, students. So right now we discuss about the different kind of pollutants which get added into the water. So if we talk about the first one, student, here itself, so you see pesticides. Pesticides or that of the fertilizers. Okay, so pesticides or that of the fertilizer, students. So pesticides, why it is used, students? It is basically used to kill the pest in the crop. So these two are used by farmers. So why they use the pesticides, students, or that of the fertilizers? Because pesticides and fertilizers help to increasing the crop yield. Okay, we use fertilizers too because this will make the soil more means help in giving the more nutrients to that of the water. And pesticides, they used to throw it so that the pests do not damage the crop. So basically these are used by the farmer since it helps in increasing the crop yield. Right? It helps in increasing the crop yield. Okay, so as it is used in the that of the farmer to in increasing that of the crop yield, students, so it is very beneficial for that of the farmers. But you know that since these consisting of chemicals, okay, So these chemicals, what happens student? It mixes with the soil. When the rainfall occur or when the water is thrown to that of the soil, then this water along with that of the rainwater, it goes to the river water, mixes with that of the river water. Now you see that all the chemicals of the pesticides and that of the fertilizers mixes in the water. And the water with chemicals are not good for any of the living organisms. Okay, so we can say that although the farmer they use all these things to increase the crop yield, but ultimately at last it will cause the water pollution. So it is not good. It is not recommended good for it to use the such thing by that of the farmer. Better we can use the vermicompost student that we had discussed that we are knowing about it. In the previous classes. So vermicomposting it is used for preparing the compost, and this manure, high quality manure, can be used by the farmer to increase the crop yield. Okay, so instead of fertilizers we can use its a natural method. Okay, because these chemicals will mixes with the water and degrade its quality. So the first one is that with the pesticides and fertilizers. Not only this students, there are a lot of chemicals like sewage. Second one is sewage or animal excreta. So animal excreta or sewage. Sewage is what student? This is the waste water which is coming from each and every houses. Okay, so this will also consisting of the dirt in it, and since both of them consisting of a dirt, so ultimately it will make our water dirty. Okay.